Am I the butthole for telling coworkers extremely bluntly why I'm not participating in the office weight loss bet? Someone got the brilliant idea to make an office diet bet due to COVID gains, with people pooling in their money to see who can lose the most weight by Thanksgiving. I am one of 7 people not participating. Lots of pregnant coworkers, some bodybuilders, and people who maintained their weight who aren't interested. Since I visibly gained, they thought I'd want to participate. I didn't. Jen, in charge of everything, kept dropping by to remind me to turn in my form and my money. I said no thanks. Jen wouldn't drop it. Other people got involved, asking me why not all the time. It'll be fun. Don't be scared, I'd feel better and look better. I told them no, I wouldn't, and it's a great way to bond, we're all in it together, it's like Weight Watchers. I'm not interested, and then eventually, I said, no. Drop it. They decided I wanted them to convince me. 2 weeks into the bet, they tried to trick on the scale to shock me. I contacted HR, people finally backed down. I'm eating my food one day, rice and beans, people sitting with me start dropping hints that how they feel so much better now that they aren't eating high-carb comfort food all the time. I said I'm glad you feel better. They took this as a sign that I knew I'd feel better again and started up saying I could still join in. I finally effing snapped and said you guys suck. I'm a recovering anorexic. I get one whiff of competition and start starving myself for days and start puking up what I do eat until I'd have to get my 3rd oral surgery to remove rotting teeth. Does that sound worth it to you? Chorus of wow, and we were just joking. I said no, you weren't just joking. Congratulations, by the way. After you all wouldn't stop, I weighed myself for the first time in 7 years and didn't eat for 2 days. Does that make you all feel good? None of them would look me in the eye, so I just went home for the day. I got a call from the women in HR, who were shockingly supportive of me. One of the bodybuilder guys stepped up and said he's witnessed a lot of the harassment and he doesn't blame me for my outburst. A few others did too. However, they had to cancel the diet bet, I didn't ask them to, and people are blaming me. Saying that I can't take a joke. It wasn't that deep, and the girls present said they no longer feel safe working with me because I obviously have mental issues. One of them made a big stink about politically correct bullcrap and how I'm the typical hypersensitive millennial. I go back and forth on this all day, thinking I should have just swallowed my anger and gone back to HR or just stopped eating lunch in the office or whatever. I didn't mean to ruin anyone's fun, but I also feel justified in pushing back on their harassment. Am I the butthole? NTA, not the butthole, not the butthole. NTA. 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 They took this public, not you. Your HR team handled this appropriately. I'm glad some of your coworkers are supporting you as well. Completely agree. Not the butthole at all. So sorry you went through this op, your coworkers sound incredibly selfish. I would contact HR again if they continue harassing you now. Can't believe people would be so self-centered and cruel. But come on, it was just a joke. I mean, once they found out how serious original post was and they realized no actually meant no, they decided it was just a joke all along. Isn't harassment the funniest of jokes after all? I have an even better joke. Original post report them for harassment and creating a toxic work environment. They lost their job and couldn't find a new one because they're a bunch of twats, and they couldn't pay their bills, so they end up homeless and can't afford daily meals. So they get to do their stupid weight loss thing after all. No. Original post could then say it was just a joke. Why would original post want to waste her time by talking to a bunch of homeless twats that she just happened to have worked with? Isn't it obvious? They have lost lots of weight. That means they're cool. People will finally like them. Love this thread. Go to HR about anyone who has said anything about it, user Cassius for coat. They're already being Oz about it, so no love lost. Maybe you'll manage to get some of them out of the workplace and have an easier time from now on. Or at least pressure HR to move you to another position. Maybe there's a position with a higher wage you can push for if you can justify that that's the only reasonable position to avoid additional harassment. I presume you have medical records and whatever else needed to push it through. Minor edit, COVID might also give you extra grounds for a permanent work from home deal. Especially since HR kind of made this happen by forcing them to cancel the competition. Reddit link. Yes, please do this. If constantly being harassed into taking part in a forced diet competition isn't a toxic work environment, I don't know what is. It will be fun. It will be just like Weight Watchers. In what epping universe is Weight Watchers fun? She's NTA, but those office harassers sure are. I am also a recovering ed person, and at one of my company's sites, everyone was in on a weight fight, and the only drawback to that site was the constant reminders that I hadn't joined the weight fight. It's so wearing and degrading to have weight discussed every single day, at every meeting and in almost every passing conversation. It took me a minute to parse that you meant eating disorder and not erectile dysfunction. I was very confused. Thank you for making me choke on my sip of Coke. Erectile dysfunction is another thing that doesn't seem to be appropriate for the office. I am straight-sized but with a million chronic illnesses and I hate workplace diet culture. Can we have a few different topics of conversation, please? Really? Why not talk about work, or the weather, or a funny cat video? Why do you think I want to hear about how many calories a Twix bar has? A great joke? Mixing Metamucil into the office coffee grounds. Then placing a scale in front of a lockbox, with the toilet paper and IT that will unlock if they truly lost weight from their last weigh-in. See who wins the office weight competition then. The coworkers are ass clowns. NTA. And FHR for not coming down harder and stopping the backstabbing currently underway. I'm finding myself admiring your twisted mind. From a safe distance. Hopefully a continent. I would love for original post to make them explain the joke for HR. Maybe I'm just a hypersensitive millennial, but nothing about harassing a coworker to go on a diet sounds funny to me. Not funny. You have a standpoint till you take a new one. This sounds like they are still making your workplace a toxic environment. Go to the HR and report everything. Agreed. Sounds like they are still harassing original post due to comments about not feeling safe due to ops mental issues. I'd honestly go back to HR. I'm proud of you for your hard work to be healthy. I'm rooting for you. If anyone has any business feeling unsafe in that environment, it's op. Who had a handle on the mental health issues until they stuck their insensitive, persistent, won't take no for an answer or's in. That bit chafed on me. That pissed me off more than anything else. Oh, you don't feel safe because you can't be a fat phobe? Poor fragile you, you're obviously less safe than the person you caused a minor relapse for. We lamb/s/. Yes. This is why there is a stigma around mental health. Like I don't even like brining up that phrase at work because I am afraid it will make people look at me differently or have it have some sort of negative effect on me. Agreed. You know who has mental issues? People who can't take no for an answer and then get offended. They obviously don't know what boundaries are and give no craps to what other people are going through. Since this is based on a health condition, it's so incredibly illegal, and if HR continues to play it smart, they will bend over backwards to make it stop and create a safe working environment. Agreed. But not sure HR is the answer. I don't have much faith in reporting this type of thing. All sorts of can't be fired for exist, but you can be fired for many other things, and if they want you out, you're gone. Not saying her outburst wasn't justified. Hell, we have wellness challenges all the time at work, and I don't participate because I don't need to lose any weight. Would be very hard for me to drop 5, when others can clearly drop several in a week by cutting out one bad habit. I find all this team-inclusive culture unnecessary, actually. I'm there to get a paycheck, not make nice with the others on the playground. No. You're NTA. Anorexia is a horrific illness and it's not something to be played around with. You were in a good place and they put you in the bad place. I'm sorry that this has happened to you. And I really hope you are receiving the support you need. All your coworkers who have essentially tried to get you to play along are effing buttholes. They pushed and pushed and pushed and didn't like it when their own buttholery got a snapback, not only from you but from HR, who I am assuming is the one who shut down the bet. Also, who the F bets on weight loss? That's literally how people develop illnesses like anorexia and bulimia. Cuddles from one recovering anorexic to another. Please stay safe and try to stay comfortable with eating. If you get uncomfortable again, try to speak with a professional. My dad works for a company that creates different type of building blocks and delivers them on semis. He has driven for almost 15 years, I think. Their office has had these stupid diet bets so many times. Did it help my father lose weight? Yeah, he dropped like 40 pounds or something like that. However, it was always the guys versus the girls, and the guys would always bring donuts into the office to tempt the office girls to binge on donuts so they wouldn't win the bet. Most of the office ladies are late 20s to mid 40s, so I don't think it caused anyone to develop food issues. But it could have, which is effing awful. That definitely caused people to develop food issues. Please read Intuitive Eating and get your dad to read it too. Maybe he'll stop participating in this unhealthy cruelty. Intuitive eating only works for people who don't have dysfunctional eating patterns. Chronically under or overeating destroys the natural appetite. When you're used to eating 1,000 calories over/under what you need every day, that is what you will intuitively want to eat. It takes a lot of time, effort and consistency to eat intuitively. It can take months of eating proper portion sizes to train your body to instinctively crave the right amount of nutrition. Anyone with a background of disordered eating simply cannot trust their hunger cues until they've been through extensive treatment. Agreed, and I can't 100% get on board with E because of that. I reference the book because anyone participating in these weight loss bets and buying their competitors' donuts ought to read the intro about the damage that diet culture and yo-yo dieting causes. Is there a better resource for accessible information about how harmful this behavior is? I agree with you that it takes a huge amount of time, effort and consistency to eat intuitively. I'm a recovering disordered eater. It's taken me 3 years and counting to be in a neutral place with food. Quitting dieting was the turning point for me, as that really effed up my whole appetite and digestive system. I do recommend an intuitive eating approach, but folks should keep in mind that it doesn't start working right away. You really do have to put a lot of work into your healing and recovery to get to neutrality. Yeah, I've given up on intuitive eating. I recovered a million years ago, but my body seems to have lost its natural hunger/fullness cues during the on/off 10 years I wasted on my eating disorder. Intuitive eaters give themselves unconditional permission to eat whatever they want without feeling guilty. They rely on their internal hunger and satiety signals and trust their body to tell them when, what and how much to eat. They know when they want to eat veggies and also when they feel like having dessert, and don't feel guilty or have any regrets with either choice. Kind of hard when your body just doesn't tell you that stuff. I don't feel guilty for having dessert, but if I listened to my body, I would pretty much only eat junk food because it's delicious and requires zero effort on my part. I don't want to eat veggies, but I incorporate them because I know they're healthy. Feeling like having veggies? Yeah, not going to happen lol. Same. I cannot eat intuitively. I track because I want to be fit and actually gain. Making sure I eat the amount that my food tracker says I should have is already hard enough. It was years ago, probably 6 or 7 by now. I also don't believe in intuitive eating. It can be a cause for you to eat whatever, whenever and gain weight when you're trying to lose it. That's so weird and gross. I get the weight loss challenges, but I have never seen blatant sabotage been taken kindly. It's supposed to be a way for everyone to be healthy, not one group trying to ruin the health of the other. The best office weight loss challenge I have seen was done by bodyweight percentage, not direct pounds lost, and the challenge was kept separate from everyone who didn't want to join. I think they used a spare room for the charting and scale, and the winners only celebrated with the actual participants. That's horrible, especially if they don't adjust for body differences. We actually had this at my workplace as well, but the people organizing had gone to HR first. They were given guidelines and told very clearly it would get shut down at the first whiff of trouble and that the company wasn't associating with it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with these things as long as there are clear guidelines and nobody gets harassed to join. It should be completely voluntary. Also, who the F bets on weight loss? Part of US office culture, especially in call centers. Everyone I've worked at would have these stupid weight loss challenges. Some were sponsored by the company itself. What? God, now I feel less bad for the contact center I work for encouraging everyone to do like 5 different charity gift things for Christmas. Lord. All our competitions are like who can donate the most cans to charity? We've had fitness and health weeks or whatever, but that meant they gave me an apple and granola bar. A bunch of places I've worked have done this Biggest Loser thing where they bet on weight loss. I have a history of disordered eating, never requiring IP treatment or surgery, and I still could never participate in something like that. My history plus competitive nature mean I'd starve myself for sure. Don't feel bad about it. We did this a lot in the Navy. We also did a running club where at the end of the month the person with the most miles got a day off. NTA. Your coworkers were harassing you. No matter your reason for saying no to a non-work related competition, they should have dropped it immediately. Honestly, I'd let HR know about the comments being made, especially the women saying they don't feel safe because you are recovering from an eating disorder. That seems like it could easily skew into more harassment from them, based on how they've acted so far. Yeah, they still are harassing original post and making it a hostile work environment. Just use those words with HR and they'll do something. Another word that should come up? Retaliation. Retaliation is a serious issue, and that's absolutely way original post is experiencing now that there has been some HR crackdown. NTA. Fully agree with this comment. Also, I'm so sorry they've created an environment in which you feel guilty about taking care of your physical and mental well-being. You do not need to feel that guilt. They were not joking, they were pressuring you consistently and quite frankly doing it to an almost abusive extent. You repeatedly told them no, yet they persisted. They may view it as a game, but that just highlights some seriously unpleasant things about their characters if that's how they truly feel. I strongly recommend you go to HR for your own benefit, as I'm 99% sure you are now going to be on the end of continued hazing, which by your account has already started, just morphed. Honestly? It happens all the time. Someone craps on someone else's boundaries, and then cries to HR because they're not allowed to wipe their butthole all over someone's psyche. I've heard about complaints of feeling unsafe around a girl who is taking ADHD medication, a black lady, plenty of Jews, I've been one of the Jews, and the brother of a kid with Down syndrome, all because these people didn't like being harassed at work. HR is never your friend. HR protects the company, not the employees. Wipe their all over someone's psyche. I am using this sentence in every conversation I have for this rest of my life. I love it. Thank you. Have your Poor Person's Award and get out there and spread the good word. Now that the coworkers know that original post is recovering from anorexia, their continued harassment is absolutely something HR needs to deal with, and if they don't, the company faces legal liability. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.